Greetings. I am your host, Sheena Gadine with the Rock Truth Radio. Welcome and thank you for joining us at Rock Truth for absolutely nothing at all. We live in a society today where truth, even before our very eyes, is constantly questioned, criticized, and altered to fit a person's ideology of God, original intent for the kingdom for the mankind. We believe that the Bible and our kingdom constitution is inspired, inflated, inherited, and finally authorized for all. Rock bottom is founded on He who is originally point of reference for all things come through eternity. The Rock Bottom podcast is a cross-cultural response to the generation, economics, and social injustice of the kingdom, woman in today's society. Rock Bottom podcast is established for each one, reach one, to teach one the lost arc of embodiments of inherited children and daughter. Therefore, exposed to the hidden plain sight, assassins a sentiment on the kingdom morals integrity, glory of her identity, ultimate healing the broken language between kings and his queen by applying the kingdom principles, revelations and knowledge. The podcast is to seek enlightening, to highlight upcoming established local queens and kings of character, while also promoting Black constitutional awareness of not only who we are, but whom we belong to. It's an absolutely king renaissance. Hello, hello, Rock Troopers. Hi, Andre. You can cut your camera back on, sir. Hi, everybody. How are we doing? Welcome to Rock Bottom Podcast. I would like to welcome my honorable guest, a friend, my videographer. Like, he be making my videos. Like, he's the man. I'm telling y'all better go see him. But nice to finally get to see you in person. How are you?
I'm pretty good.
That is awesome, awesome, awesome. So can you tell us a little bit who you are and where you're from?
All right. I'm Andre A.J. Carter. I'm from New York. Born and raised, all that good stuff. I'm a relationship coach and author. And I dibble in videos, as she said.
No, you don't dibble. You skillful. Ain't no dibble with that. Everybody can't dibble and actually do an extraordinary job. You do extraordinary jobs. Like when you did my video for my anniversary, do you know how many people asked me who did your video? Like everybody, I'm like, listen, I'm telling you, I sent your name. I said, go to him. That's who you need to go to. He the man. He make your video pop. You need something that stands out. He is the man. So
thank you.
How did you get into writing? Like, how long have you been writing?
All my life.
Yeah.
I started writing at 6 years old.
Okay. What led you to it? Was it just something you liked, or was it a way of just an escape?
Just an escape. An escape, just writing down your thoughts. It starts off like that. I started writing poetry and music. I've written over, I have 29 copywritten songs for different rap artists out there and stuff that I've written for. So, I did that around 18 and 19 years old.
Okay. So what got you into being a life coach? Like, you went from poetry and writing to dabbling into videos to writing music for, the music world to now we're life coaching relationships. Like, how did this travel get to there?
Well, understandably, it's called growth.
Okay.
I always like to help people. I mean, from young, I was doing that too. Difference is I wasn't getting paid for it.
Right.
So I got the certification.
Okay.
And then I was able to get paid for it.
Right.
But I was always helping people. It was nothing. There's nothing different from what I did back then to now.
That's awesome. So if somebody was trying to get into being a relationship coach, how would they go about it? Like, what would be their ways of getting it? What's the steps?
Many ways. For me, I started writing books.
Okay.
My books got noticed.
Okay.
I even have a book coming out in the movie. So, awesome. It's just a matter of getting your name out.
Right.
No matter what you do, you got to get your name out.
True. So what is your first book now, how many books do you have?
4.
Four. Okay. Now, what was the very first book that you wrote and published?
The very first one,
Mm-hmm.
I wrote for a real estate company.
Okay.
That was the very, very first one that I wrote for them, their manual on marketing.
Okay.
And I sold that off to them. I sold them the rights,
Mm-hmm.
everything. So
Right. And then,
that
then
set
what?
things off. That got me
That,
hyped.
that,
I
right.
was
That was
off and
like,
going
listen,
from there.
okay, listen, I can get this. So what can I do? I definitely understand that. Listen, that'll hype me up too. Should I sell the first book that I write and the whole rights to it? That's just awesome in itself. So your second book was what? What was your next book?
I wrote the manual, the relationship manual for men that's loved by women.
Okay. Now tell me a little bit
That
about
did
that.
pretty well too. Hmm?
Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, the manual was based on my life, basically,
Mm-hmm.
as because I was actually a sex addict.
Okay.
I was addicted to sex for a long time. I didn't know that that was the issue.
Right.
I thought it was just, like how people say, oh, you just like a lot of sex.
Right. Right.
I never knew it was an addiction.
Sure. Okay.
So I never framed it as that until
Yeah.
I started going to therapy.
Okay.
That's when I found out, for sure. I
Right.
originally started off what made me go to therapy was the fact that somebody came to me,
Mm-hmm.
an older woman who said, you have a reputation around here. I heard that, you had sex with every woman in the building from the 10th floor to the lobby. And I
Whoa.
was like, really? I never knew it was that bad.
Right. Okay.
I never thought about it. I'm not sitting
Right.
here taking down numbers and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I'm just
Right.
I see a pretty girl, I like
Mm-hmm.
her, I start talking to her.
Okay.
One thing leads to another. That's
Right.
all I thought of it. But
Something to
yeah, when
do.
she told me that, I was like, wow,
It made you take a look at yourself.
exactly.
Gotcha.
So, and I would have probably ignored her if she
Mm-hmm.
wasn't somebody that was older.
Got
That made the difference as well
okay.
because she wasn't my age. I was like
Mm-hmm.
33 at the time, and she was like
Mm-hmm.
65.
Okay.
So it made me realize, hey, maybe what she's saying has some validity to it because
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure she's not trying to get with me. If she was
Right.
somebody my age, I
That'll
might
be a
say,
little different.
she just mad that I ain't hit her yet.
Right.
You next, don't worry about it.
I cannot. But self awareness is definitely a key thing.
Oh yeah,
You
oh
know.
yeah.
So
So
once you went to therapy and then you found out about that, that's where you created the book of men and women relationship.
exactly,
Okay.
because they say write what you know.
Right.
So that's what I knew.
Mm-hmm.
I knew about how to
Mm-hmm.
get to what, how to have a relationship with women.
Right.
I was a master at just like any addict, like if you gotta if you're addicted to
Drug
cocaine
addiction.
or crack or whatever,
Right.
they do whatever they gotta do in
To get
order
the
to fix their addiction.
right. Whatever
You know, yeah,
fix the niche at the moment.
right, exactly. They may do things that you're not even thinking about.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Same thing with a sex addict. You know, I'm doing things that most people are not even thinking about
Right.
in order to
So
accomplish my goal.
got you. So we go from that book. Now, what was it? Now, was the third book like another spring off of the last book, or what was the third book going into?
No,
What was the
The-
third book?
I did a book. Actually, no. Before that, I did the calendar. I did the 2021 hip hop calendar.
Okay. Now,
It,
now was that entailed like just certain people for that year, or how did you category of choosing the
I
calendar?
did
What was
from
the name?
old school to new
Okay.
school, from January 1st to December 31st.
Okay.
Everybody's birthday,
Mm, that's dope.
you know.
That's
So
dope.
I thought that was nice, you know. So
Right.
that if you're a real hip hop head,
Mhm. Yeah, that'll
you'd
be a
know all
calendar
their
for you.
birthdays and
So
stuff like that.
listen, y'all better go get that calendar if you're a hip hop head. I'm telling you, it's out there. It's there for you on Amazon, correct? Or is it on your
It's
website?
on PayHip at
Okay.
Just Ask Dre.
Okay. So from that to the calendar. So what was after the calendar?
I did the Guided Planner to Success.
Okay. Now tell me a little bit about that. Because some people we all try to find that trail to success. Everybody wants to be successful. So any jewels you can drop for any people about success? Because
A
since
jewel?
since you wrote the book on it, why not? We gotta tap in, while we got you here.
Okay,
Just a
okay,
little bit.
okay. The number one jewel that I always tell people is that time is your most valuable asset.
Hmm.
We are all given the same exact 24 hours, whether you are a genius, whether you are a failure in life, whatever you frame that as. Um, we all came into this world naked with nothing. The difference is
Right.
how one person spent their 24 hours versus the next person. And just to clarify that, just in case anybody doesn't really get the gist of that, if you sit in the
Hmm.
classroom, you'll get people that have A's and you'll get people that have F's. Same teacher, same
Hmm.
classroom,
Right.
same lessons.
Right. But just a different journey.
Yeah.
I get it. Um, so like if somebody's trying to be successful, like I could say anything they're trying to do, but if somebody's trying to start a business, like what's some key things you think they need to look at to attain success? Like, a lot of us think success happens overnight. We all know that it doesn't happen like that. But they think that, oh, you know how they see the glitter and go on TV. They like, oh, it's gonna just, but it doesn't happen
No.
like that. It takes time. They didn't
What?
see the shovel through the mud before that.
No, they don't see that part. A lot of these so-called overnight successes have
Mm-hmm.
been struggling for the past 3 or 4 years prior to
Right.
you knowing about it.
Right.
So there's no easy way in to
Mm-hmm.
success. What you have to do is find your gift that God gave you. God gives everyone a gift.
Right.
You have to find out what you are gifted at and concentrate on that and just work on that. And
Now, if
you'll be
somebody was
successful.
lost. Say if they was lost and they don't know how to find their gift and they don't know where to find these key things at, how would they find that gift? Like, how would they know? They might
Come
just feel
see
that they
me.
don't have one.
That's what I do.
They might feel they don't have one. So it's like, hey, I don't have one. What am I supposed to do?
Come see me. That's what I get paid for.
So coaching them into success, what do you like? What are your levels of coaching? Like, as far as like, what is your price range? How does that work for people? How do they get in contact with you? Like, how do they work with you? How do they get to work with Mr. Andre, the successful man?
It's real simple. Remember this. Just ask Dre. You can hit that up on Gmail. You can hit that up on Facebook. Instagram is all the same. Just ask Dre.
Yeah, I heard
So
it. Just ask
I'm
Dre. Like,
real
it's
simple.
easy. Just ask. I mean, that's a common. That's not even hard to remember. We always just want to know, so just ask.
Right.
Simple.
Yep. I like that. I might have to
Yeah.
steal that one.
Don't be trying to steal my memes and quotes. Stop it. But what I share, I share. You can take it. It's cool. I won't even mind. So into this video world, like I know you don't talk about it much, but how did you dibble and dabble into videography? Like, how did you get into being able to produce and do the things you do with videos? Like, because me, I am not tech savvy. I have no fun with the technology world. I'm simple with it, but Like, how do you get these movie videos to do what they do?
Well, this pandemic brought out a lot of interesting things. And one of the things that I happen to like to do, if you notice, I'm not a little guy. So, I like to eat. So, since I couldn't really leave the house and stuff like that and go out to restaurants or
Mhm.
the churches or the schools like I would have normally did, motivational speaking was out the picture.
Gotcha.
So I figured, okay, I broke into videography. I did go to art school when I was younger, so I
Okay.
had an artistic eye already. That's why I wanted to do the videography.
Got you. And you may as
So,
well say the artistic was already here too, because you did poetry, which is another art. Like poetry and art is still blends together. So
right, that too. So, I just watched some YouTube videos,
okay.
bought some software, and
And
there it
that's
was.
all the road. Got you. Now you said that you wrote music for people. How did you get to dabble into that world? Like how did that world came? Like, did it just you happen to just know somebody that knows somebody? Or you just, you worked your way into the industry as far as writing for people?
Work your way up into the industry, basically. That's how that works. Like anything else, there's no such thing as overnight successes. Like I said, I started writing for people at 18.
Right.
Okay. So, but keep this in mind. I've been DJing since I was 10.
See, boom. Didn't even know you DJ. So how did you get into DJing? See,
I,
all these
I,
talents we didn't know. How did you get into DJ? You just one day in the house just messing with the turntables.
let me tell you, back in the days when DJ Flash was out, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know about DJ Charlie Chase and
I think I've
all these
heard the
other
name.
guys, Africa Bambaataa. These guys was hot back in New York back then,
Mm-hmm.
and I loved all of that. So I asked my mom to get me some DJ equipment,
Gotcha.
and from
You
there
just
it was
started
on. Everybody used to come to my house and listen to me do music, and I was teaching people how to DJ.
okay. Now, do you still teach? Is that something that you still offer to people, or that's just was something
Nah,
you put that? No,
I
okay.
put that down a long time
It
ago.
might be some young kids that might want to learn, so you got to put it out there. Ask them, if they want to learn, they might listen. It could be a future investment.
Yeah,
Going with your coaching, coach.
shoot,
That's coaching kids.
I spoke to my man Daytopen like a few months ago and whatnot. He was telling me how I was the one who taught him how to DJ and stuff. And I was like, I forgot about that.
See, when you get up in age, you be forgetting what you be teaching people. See,
Yeah.
and you probably an inspiration to a whole lot of people that you don't even know. Like people could be watching you and be like, I want to know how to do that. Like
Mm-hmm.
even with the videography, like there's probably people that want to get into that and engineering and stuff like that. And to be able to have different streams of income. And I see
Right.
you are one with so many streams of income and you have a variety of talent. I could see you having a whole school of different things you could teach and pass on to the next generation.
I try, actually. I try, you know. I,
Now,
I tell
tell
people,
me
hey,
about
don't,
the
don't don't try to idolize me and get jealous or
right,
nothing like that.
right,
Because I'm one of those people that pull you right in.
right.
All you gotta do is
As
ask.
how you say, just ask Dre.
Just ask Ray.
So next question for you. Like going into the fact is that you have a movie. Your book is about to be in a movie, am I correct?
Mm-hmm.
So how did that come about? Like how did like did somebody see your work and they was like, hey, can we get your book in a movie? Or how
Yeah,
did
that's
okay.
exactly what happened.
Awesome. That
Yeah,
listen.
what
Some
happened was I had a friend
okay.
that she loved my work,
Mm-hmm.
and she knew somebody, a movie producer that was looking for somebody to you know, that had a romance book that wanted to be he wanted in the movie and
Gotcha.
recommended me.
That's what's up. That's really really dope. You know that it's that's future goals for some people, especially like me. But one day we'll get there. But like me, I just created my own lane with a lot of things. I'm a visionary, so I get creative with a lot of my stuff. As you can see, I create a lot of my own things, and just getting to know you, like I just learned a lot of different things that you do. Because like I didn't know that you was. I know you dabbled with the relationship thing. I didn't know you was like a lot of relationship coach. I didn't know you DJ'd. See, I'm just learning,
There's a
learning,
lot of things I don't
learning.
really tell people because I'm not really a
Right.
bragger per se, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
I'm very
sometimes it's not
humble.
about bragging. I mean, you telling people who you are and what you represent, it's not a bragging. It's you specifying to the world who you are.
This is
It's just
true. This
it's
is
owning
true.
your
But a
titles.
lot of
Owning your
black people
titles.
don't take it like that.
And you know what? Sometimes you gotta just because what I've learned, because a lot of times that's the one thing about us. We fall back from saying everything we do or talking about what we do because we feel that, somebody might take it the wrong way or they might feel that we're bragging. But I've learned that it's nothing wrong with owning the characters and the representations of the things that you have become after going through what you've been through. And if people can't handle who you are, maybe they're not ready to be around you and they're not supposed to be in your element.
That's right.
So, you know, it's just all about learning to accept who you are. And if they can't accept it, maybe it's time for them to see the door so they can
That's
handle
right. See the
it. So,
door.
see,
So
see
let
the
me
door.
tell y'all who I am then.
Yes, let's go.
There you
Tell them.
go. Y'all already know I was a songwriter.
Right.
I am a three-time U.S. Library of Congress Poetry Award winner.
Okay. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. They gave me number one in the U.S.
Okay.
3 years in a row.
That's what's up. Now, what years was this? Now, was this like recently or did this
No,
happen?
not recently. Not
Okay.
recently. Nah, we're talking about like in the 90s.
It don't
You
matter.
know,
It happened. It's yours. It's your title.
there
Nobody
you
can take
go.
it. They
There
they
you go.
yours. You won
Um,
them. They're yours. They belong to you.
I was New York State champion in swimming
Okay.
and Midwest champion.
Do
When I
you
think
still
about it,
swim now as an
I can
as a
still
high school?
swim.
You just
I'm
don't do
56
that.
years old. I don't swim competitively.
Listen, there's some people that still compete. I was just asking.
Not at my age. I doubt that.
Hey, you never know.
Some people don't know when. It's like those people them boxers that don't know
You
when to
know
leave
when
the
to quit.
ring.
Right. Absolutely. But it's just inspiring to it's always good to see a fellow, you know, person that's just owning and doing the things that you do. Because like you said, a lot of times we are not acknowledged for the things that we have done. And sometimes you have to put that in the forefront. People see us and just like, oh, okay. But then when they start hearing titles, they're like, whoa, but I don't want you to look at me any different because of my titles. I'm still the same person that you thought I was when you first seen me. Now
That's
that I got
right.
titles, we don't have to change forms. I'm
That's
still me.
right.
So, but I want you to know you are doing a great job. You are like awesome.
Thank you.
So tell us now, here at Rock Bottom, we talk about things that we've been through sometimes, and
Mhm.
we ain't gonna get too deep in it because everybody don't be an open book. So my thing is, can you tell us one thing that you felt that you had to come from the bottom to now, from to just kind of where you are today? Because sometimes where we've been is what breeds us to be who we are now.
Mm. Well, as Drake would say, we started from the bottom. Now we here.
Right.
um, when I was a young kid, I grew up. Uh, how would they say abused?
Gotcha.
I've been beat with whips,
Mm.
belt buckles, belts with spikes.
Mm.
extension cords. I've been kicked in my mouth, punched. Matter of fact, um, at my wedding when I was 35, when I got kicked in the mouth from my father, he
Right.
my tooth finally fell out my mouth at my wedding.
At your wedding.
At my wedding.
The wedding. It decides it wants to come
I
out.
had to sit
At
there
the
hold it in
Wow.
while I'm getting married.
Mm.
Yeah.
Now, how do you feel that kind of shaped you to where you are now? Because I know that took like some type of psychological trauma situation during the midst of that, especially being a kid and having these things happen to you. Like it's not natural. So we all have beatings, but to get beat is a totally different thing.
Right. How did I handle it?
Yeah.
You know, what I always say is you can't go back. Like when you're driving a car,
Hmm.
you have to be able to look forward and go straight.
Right.
Everything that happened back there, you already passed that. You survived that already. You passed
Mhm.
that. You move forward.
Right.
If your mind is stuck in the back, then you can't move forward.
Absolutely.
So I try to just say, okay, it happened. Let's move forward and see what we could do next. What do we do from here? I can sit here and cry
Right.
about it, or
Right.
I can try to move forward.
Right. Now, during this process, did you hate your father? Like, did you have like a grudge towards him, or did you just, that's my dad and that's what happened?
I guess you could say I had a kind of a grudge
Mhm.
because after that I didn't see him for 15 years.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I guess you could say that.
Gotcha.
you know, I
Right.
won't I won't call it a grudge per se
Right.
because
Just the
I
animosity.
really don't hold grudges, but
You had a little sore spot.
I deal with people. You know how to deal with people.
Right. How
You
you say
just say,
you feed him with
okay,
a long
I
spoon?
can't deal with him, so that's that. You're not
Okay.
mad and nothing like that, but I can't deal with you.
I'm gonna put that over there for now.
Right.
Now, did y'all ever have the conversation about like after the 15 years was over, did you ever tell him how you felt about it? Like, did y'all ever have that talk?
We never had that closeness again.
Gotcha.
No.
Okay. Sometimes it is, you forgive them and move on. And I get it.
Right.
I definitely get it.
Yeah. You got
So,
to forgive for yourself.
right, right. And that's the one thing that people tend to, have to remember. The forgiveness is not for them, it's for yourself. And, some people get lost in that anger and frustration and they allow it to take over their life and they're just angry at the world because of something someone else did as well. So I'm
Right.
very proud of you not allowing that situation to be a cloud or overbearance of your life because sometimes that stops people from just being who they are and it sends them into a whole downward spiral because they
Hmm.
can't let it go.
Right.
So I'm going to commend you for not allowing that to divert or move your life into a different direction that it shouldn't been in. So I'm
Right.
going to give you some hand claps for that.
Woo!
Kudos.
I like that.
But, in a world that we know, what advice would you give to someone that may be dealing with some type of trauma, whatever, just something in life that they may feel that they can't just let go? Like, what advice would you give them on moving forward if they just seem like they're just stuck and can't get out of it?
It's always good to talk to somebody who is not tied to your situation. Like, they're not friends with you or anything like that.
Mhm.
Maybe a minister, maybe a therapist. Speak to a professional. That's the best advice I can give you because a lot of times, if you just speak to your friends,
Mhm.
they're just going off of their experiences, and
Right.
everybody's experience is not the same.
Mhm.
Okay, we're all individuals. They have to speak to somebody that's open-minded and
Right.
knows how to help you.
Right.
You
Absolutely.
know,
And I absolutely agree with that. And that's crazy though, because in our community, a lot of times going to therapy is not something that a lot of people feel comfortable doing because they feel
right?
that, oh, if I go to
Exactly.
therapy, I'm crazy. Or if I go to therapy, something's wrong with me. So how do you give give a word to someone that, that needs to be comfortable with going with that? Because to them, to in our culture, they don't think that you should be going to therapy. You got to go to the Lord and give it to the Lord, and then that's it.
Right. Yeah. You get a lot of that.
Go give it
I
to
feel
God.
it's cool to take it to the Lord. I mean, hey, I
Right.
got ordained in 2013.
Hmm.
So I'm a minister as well.
Right.
So I
See,
would say that.
I learned something new again. Go ahead now.
So
Okay,
I'll say
Minister
this.
Andre.
This is what I'll tell you. It's always nice to talk to the Lord. I talk to the Lord every day.
Hmm.
But if you really want to hear somebody give you an answer back, go see a therapist
Right.
or go speak to a minister.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah. Go.
they're going to give you some answers back,
Right.
and they're going to be the correct answers, not just,
Your
oh,
friends.
because, let's say you going through it with your man or something like that, and you speak to your girlfriend, and next thing you know, they telling you about some nonsense
Right.
that
Total chaos. That's about to
yeah,
mess your
total
whole
chaos they
relationship.
went through or whatever, and they
Hmm.
got you leaving your relationship
Right.
over something that was minor.
Right. That's the truth. A lot of times feel that their opinion should be valued, and a lot of times that's why when it comes to relationship, I don't put other people in my relationship because then that's how you mess up your relationship.
Right,
Because the extra ears and eyes and comments is how people
right,
tend to bring turmoil. Because that could be a friend that's actually hating on a relationship and don't want you to be with that person, and they might actually
exactly.
want you in.
Oh
So you
yeah,
gotta be careful on the ears that you lend the message to, because they might also be the one that's trying to get in the same position that you are. So
exactly.
absolutely, definitely,
Or they could be jealous of your whole situation, not
that's a,
just um your man or your relationship. They could
just
be
you
jealous of
period,
you in general.
right?
So they're gonna do whatever they got to do to tear you down,
Right, and
bring you
you
down a notch.
right, and you have to be careful on the people that you have in your presence. Even just discussing what you want to do as future goals, because a lot
Right.
of times there's somebody there that's just waiting to say, "Oh, well, they doing that, and oh, they doing that. I don't like that." So then they want to go throw dirt on your name, or just different things they want to do to sabotage you, any way possible.
Oh yeah.
Jealousy is not a good thing, and it's a
Right.
lot of people that have that jealousy and envy spirit, and you have to pray for the people that you have around you, and remember
Oh
that
yeah.
your peaceful space is your protective space, and you have to be very cautious with it
That's right. Very
because
cautious.
it's a delicate space. Like life itself is delicate on who you allow to even sit at the table with you,
Right.
because everybody don't deserve access to you. And so many
You don't
times,
realize that.
yeah, I had to learn that. And as you grow, you learn that you can't have this person and that person around you, because not everybody's meant to be around you, and not everybody's meant to go with you and go where you're going. So you have to always remember, like, who is truly there for you, because everybody ain't for your cause. They just want to be around you to sabotage you.
Right. Right. I was just having a discussion with somebody about that the other day because he was this guy. He's a rapper. I can't say names, but he's a rapper,
Absolutely.
and he was saying how he wanted to bring in his posse and this and that with him and this and that. He's trying to help out people. And I said, let
Mhm.
me tell you something. I said, you can't bring everybody with you.
Right.
Okay. If you're at a dinner table and you're trying to feed everybody, but they're not bringing anything to the table, the only thing that's happening is food is being taken off your table, but
Yep.
nobody's adding to it.
Right.
So
Right.
therefore, you end up with nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And people
And
don't
and that's
realize that.
No, they don't. Because like you said, everybody want to bring the posse in the crowd, but you got to understand that everybody it can't go with you. And if, like you said, if they're not providing value to what you're doing or providing value to your table, you can't feed everybody. Everybody can
Exactly.
be hungry, but you can't
Right.
feed everybody.
You
Now,
can't feed
if you can
everybody.
guide them to the water, but you can't make them drink. So
Right.
it's a process of elimination on the circle, and my circle is very small, and I keep it small for a reason.
Yeah.
Because the
Well, I
less
bring
people in
people
that
in.
circle, the less people I gotta worry about it.
I bring people in, but I bring people in that serve a purpose. I'm not bringing you in just
Absolutely.
because, oh, this is my boy I grew up with and whatnot. He's not doing nothing but taking money out my pocket, but he's my boy.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
if
And
he's
then
if he's
you
if
then
he's my boy and he knows accounting or something like that, he could be my
mhm,
accountant.
right.
You know,
You
something
come with a
like that.
purpose.
Got a purpose.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I understand clearly. Listen, I am here with you. And people have to remember those morals and principles. You know, it's cool to bring the homie, but if the homie ain't got no skills, what can I do with you? That's it. Plain and simple. But is there anything positive that you would like to lead the people and then also tell them how to follow you, connect with you, and to work with you?
Okay. Positive. Here's something positive. I knew that I could do anything that I always wanted to do, and that's how I discovered about the gifts. That whatever your gift is, use it, and you'll be successful. How I learned this was this: my father is probably what they would call had the lowest job on the totem pole. He was a glorified janitor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this janitor owned his first home at 22. This janitor owned a building in Park Slope. This janitor drove a new Cadillac or Mercedes every single year. Okay,
Right. Mm-hmm.
that's as a janitor.
Right.
So therefore, that tells me, no matter what you do,
Mm-hmm.
it's not the title of the job; it's
Right.
how you do the job.
Absolutely. I hope y'all caught that. Everybody out there listening, who listening later, I hope y'all caught that. And if you didn't, rewind a couple times and listen to it again. Cause
That's right.
that right there, listen, I'm trying to tell you. Because
Yeah,
people think you gotta have these describing, these all extraordinary jobs to do the things that you just said, a house, a car. But you can do it with any job. You just gotta know how to do it.
right.
That's it.
That's basically what it is. I mean, you could be a lawyer, and I'm pretty sure you've been in lawyers' offices. Some have
Mm-hmm.
a storefront, some
Mm-hmm.
have a big office building on
Right.
Park Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
They both lawyers. They both got
Right.
the same degree.
Mm-hmm.
One do it better than the other. That's all.
Right. That's it. That's it. So can you tell the people how to follow you, connect with you, and how to work with you?
Once again, just ask Dre. There you go.
Listen, y'all heard it here. Just
That's on
ask Dre.
Facebook,
Everywhere.
Instagram, Gmail, all of that.
I want to thank you for coming and blessing Rock Bottom platform. Just know you're always welcome to come back. We're always honored to have you over here at Rock Bottom. Listen,
Thank you for
it's
having
an
me.
honor. It's been an honor.
Thank you.
Everybody, I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in to Rock Bottom. I am your host, Sheena Godine. I would like to always thank y'all for tuning in. I will be back not next Saturday, but the following Saturday. And as always, I'm here at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central. Y'all have a great night. It's been nice. Just log out.
All right, Shay.